what we did is we hijacked the Ward and Al show earlier on Channel 167 with their big guest. And this guy's got over 2 million Twitter followers, and everyone knows who he is. And I'm very excited at the last minute that he stayed for us. Chris Hardwick, how you doing, Chris?
I stayed. I hijacked your show. I was like, I'm going over to Channel 168. Try and stop me.
Listen, that's big for us. Welcome, man. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. We're in a weird conference room right now, which I think normally has like dental conventions and human resource meetings.
We should be signing up for a pyramid scheme in this.
There should be. So, guys, all you need is to get 10 of your friends to sign up 10 of their friends to listen to Channel 168.
Actually, it kind of does work with our audience.
It's a little bit like that.
That's all we ask. Go to our website. It's all coming full circle. Chris, you enjoying your time so far in Montreal?
Yes, I just got here yesterday.
Okay.
But it's really nice. As long as I think maybe this is my 7th time at the festival, so I've learned how to say désolé, je suis un Américain stupide, je suis un touriste, just so that the people of Montreal don't think that I am a Montreal citizen refusing to speak French, which I know is not looked upon with great joy.
It would be very rude, wouldn't it, to be talked to and then not reply whatsoever. And now, especially because people know who you are, you'd be that snob.
I would be, yeah.
Okay, so you learned a couple of phrases to get around it.
I did, and it's me apologizing for not knowing how to speak the native language here. But in Los Angeles, there's just not a lot of call to speak French. It's Spanish,
Listen, Chris, I live in Toronto, just a hop and a skip away, 4 hours drive from here, or 5 maybe, and I still don't speak French. So, I really we flew over here. By the time we left our studio on Wednesday, got here, it was like an hour and a half. People live outside of Toronto in the suburbs. As you know, in LA, driving to get into the city to work can sometimes be like that hour and a half. And it really does feel like another country. Do you like the culture here in Montreal?
Yeah, it's beautiful. I mean, it feels, being American, we're obviously very America-centric, and our heads are way up our own butts all the time. I think Toronto feels a little bit closer to what we're used to, and to an American, Montreal feels a little more European.
Yes.
So it does feel like... So you joke about like coming to this other country, but it does feel like a different country in Montreal. I mean, I find that of all the different places in Canada that I've been to, each one definitely has its own personality. Toronto has more of a big city feel.
Yeah, mini New York. I think it's fair to say,
but like a clean, well planned New York.
Not if you live there.
Our mayor used to do crack.
Yeah, I know. I just thought he was a douchebag for trying to get rid of all the bike lanes.
Yes, he was.
But he's been a great gift to us on at midnight.
Yeah, that's a great segue for this, and we've talked about it before. But when you get the topics for at midnight, it can go. It's really anything that's pop culture and topical. And for us in Toronto, it would be wild to think that a mayor could make that much news. But you had a ton of fun with that, didn't you?
We did, and Americans were and as I said, Americans are usually very America-centric and cannot tell you things that happen outside of America. It's one of our failings. But America's such a big country, and there's so many people that it's easy to get wrapped up in ourselves. But we were very aware of your rock and roll mayor. So it's been a lot of fun.
If you've ever tried to buy crack in a bike lane, you'll know why he got rid of all the bike lanes.
That's why it's very difficult. They're just getting in the way. Although it's a smaller proposition that passed was more crack lanes. So the bike lanes turned into crack lanes.
The weird thing about Rob Ford is that the only thing that took him down wasn't the crack or the scandal; it was cancer.
Right.
So, yeah, he got cancer. And that is why he didn't run for a second term. His brother ran for the next term and only lost by like 60,000 votes. If Rob had his health, he would have won again.
Why do you think that is?
Back to this, it's my fearful take on society where we're headed. And that I want to say back, we had a conversation on the Ward and Al show on 167 just before about people who you're not threatened by. And I think that he related to the average person, the average Joe. We have demons, we have problems, we have issues. And people liked that part of it because it wasn't a fearful intimidation factor of a political fear.
Here's the thing. I don't want to friggin' hang out with my politicians. I just want them to run things and not fuck it up. You know what I mean? Like, I just want them to do a good job. I don't need to like go dumpster diving with them. Like, I don't need to get, we don't need to backyard wrestle and go to parties. I just need them to lead. So that's why I'm like if I see a candidate who's too much like me, I'm like, well, I'm not gonna vote for that guy. I would not be a good mayor.
What made him special is he would literally return every single phone call at any hour of the night.
Yeah, of course, because he's up. He's up. What's he gonna do? Hey, what are you guys doing? What? I just want to know why all the bike lanes. Yeah, you guys want to party? Yeah. No, I just want to be able to ride my bike in the city.
Big shifty jaw on the other end of the phone. You can just see through it. We're here with Chris Hardwick. So, Donald Trump running for president, leading the GOP, the polls, Jeb Bush. So you must have some amazing thoughts on this.
People are more focused on Trump right now because he's basically trolling everyone. And I don't think it's the same kind of thing where I think we as human beings are often confused by people who are unapologetic. And I think you could actually get away with a lot of crazy shit if you just don't apologize. People are like, hey, you said that thing or you did that thing. Yeah. Oh, here's my vote. You know what I mean? Like, people are so confused by people because I think we all want to be led. And when someone seems unapologetic and not moved at all by what people shout at them, then I think a certain percentage of humans will go, oh, well, that guy probably knows something I don't know. And so he's basically, the thing that's fascinating about Trump is that because he's not a career politician, he doesn't give any shits. And so every other politician is very risk averse, and they're terrified of offending anyone. They're terrified. And Trump is going out of his way to offend people. And I think the rest of the political landscape does not know how to deal with it because they're not going to go out on those limbs.
I know it's a weird political climate we're in. It's a weird comedic climate we're in. And you think of what's going on, even the news today, Hulk Hogan gets fired from the WWE because he went on a racist rant. And if he did go on that racist rant, I haven't heard it, he should be fired from the WWE. There's there was a thing with the Toronto Blue Jay, an ESPN announcer, and he talked about Dominican Republic people, and he said some offensive things, got fired from ESPN, and then yet you have a potential president who's saying all these things and is seemingly getting away with it right now. He's going to have his hand that close from the button, as Jay Brody says.
Well, he's getting away with it because he doesn't give a shit. I mean, if I don't think he's going to win.
No?
No.
Okay.
No. I think he's kooky enough to stir up the pot, but I don't think anyone would ultimately be like, well, yeah, we should put that guy in the White House. Like, I don't think it's gonna get that far. Because I was even reading today that he might, if he doesn't get the Republican nomination, that he'll just run. He could run as an independent.
Sure, he's so rich. Just
so
go through it.
It just doesn't even matter. But I think the thing that's weird about the way that our news works now is that there's so much information. We just get bits and pieces of things. So it's sort of like you said with the Hulk Hogan thing. I don't really know what the story is yet because I've been here and I've been working and, but I think people will cobble bits and they'll go, oh, I think he might have, and it'll turn out, no, he definitely said this. Even if it's true or not, he may have. I don't know. I didn't hear it. And if he did, then, fuck that guy. But it's interesting that there's so much of our culture now because it's everything's status updates and social media that you just get bits and pieces of things and sort of stitch together a story which may be true, may not have all the facts, we don't know. And that's what's so scary to me about politics right now is that how do you source the actual stories for anything anymore? There's so much.
It's actually spending time and doing your due diligence, which no one does.
No one wants to do that anymore.
Exactly.
No one.
That is way too time.
I don't have time for that.
No,
I have a job.
My ADHD kicked in way before. I'm already on to the next question. But yeah, the one thing, and actually back to Artie Lang, who was on the program yesterday, I saw a tweet that he had wrote where he said, whether you're black or white, woman or man, whatever you are, at least there's honesty in politics. When it came to Trump, just saying, like he's at least he to himself, and I'm not condoning any of it, but he's being honest with his thoughts, and that's sometimes, I wish we could see more honesty with the good politicians.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's, he may be being honest, or he may just be saying things that he knows is going to get a reaction out of. He may just be trolling people. Wow. I can't tell 100%, but I think it's impossible to know anymore what's true or what's real, and people operate so much from a place of fear because if you piss people off enough, then it will take you down. So I guess from one sense, I'm sure glad he's being honest, but it's like, there was a KKK rally. Those guys were being honest about their feelings, but I don't want them anywhere near anything that I care about.
Chris Hardwick, if you had, say, $250 million, would you say more what's on your mind?
If I had $250 million?
Yeah.
I don't think. I mean, look, maybe not, but I don't think I have terrible thoughts. I mean, and I care what people think, not in the sense that, oh no, I care so much what people think about me, in the sense of like I care about other people's feelings. So I because I'm not a sociopath. So
you're not a malicious dude.
I don't have any, I want people to feel happy and supported and feel good, and I think that's sort of the vibe on At Midnight, which could have been a very toxic, roasty kind of a show. It's more of like, hey, we're all having fun and we're all here to support each other, and people are funnier when they're relaxed and calm and feel good about themselves, and I think that's a nice place to be. There's just too much shit in the world to, why create that for ourselves?
At Midnight, that's really like the comedian show, isn't it? They love it, and it can help propel people's careers in some strange way when they get noticed, right?
It started to help people's ticket sales on the road, which is one of the things that we always wanted for the show, because there aren't a lot of stand-up shows. There's not a lot of places for stand-ups to be stand-ups on television anymore. And particularly what's great about it is that people can come on and be funny without burning their material. So they can still go do a special because everything they do on At Midnight's just for that.
They're reacting
It's just all about what happened in that moment. And so, I've seen people like Nikki Glazer and Ron Funches, like I've seen them, they've said to me like, yeah, we're seeing more people come out to our shows because of our appearances on At Midnight. And that makes me really happy because, I always wanted a show like that when I was a developing comedian. So I'm glad that we can provide that.
Nice to give back for sure. Jay Brody, we got to go in a couple of minutes here with Chris Hardwick. I know you're a big fan, and you want to chime in here, sir?
I love the Talking Dead, okay?
Yes.
How do you have spoilers? How far ahead do you get information on that show?
I have the I can watch ahead, but I don't watch ahead. I have all the episodes as soon as they're done.
Really?
I just have them and there's a software package, and I can go watch them, but I don't because I don't want to know what's coming up.
There's never like a drunken 4 a.m. iPad Walking Dead season 8.
I don't drink, so thankfully that if I did, I would. If I did, I would have seen all of the episodes already. It doesn't matter.
Chris, what's going on with you in Montreal? Where can people go and see you?
That was almost phrased like, we're breaking up.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry, sir. I'm going to miss you. You're my favorite guest.
Montreal's taking the dog. I'm doing a gala tonight with Ellie Kemper, and then I'm doing my own show tomorrow night at 8 at the Olympia Theater.
Awesome.
So I'm doing an hour-long set then. So
you ever get to Toronto?
I'll be in Toronto for JFL 42 this year. So Toronto's a great, I really enjoy being in Toronto. It's funny when I came to Montreal, I did JFL 42 one year, and then I came to Montreal afterwards or something where I'd been to Toronto first, and when I got here, the van driver was like, "Oh, do you like Canada?" I was like, "Yeah, I was just in Toronto. I had a great time there. Don't tell anyone here that you that or you." I was like, Montreal's in this war with everyone who's not Montreal. Like, don't tell them you're from United States. Okay, don't tell them you're from Hollywood. Don't tell them you went to Toronto and liked it. Fuck, I don't know what to say. Please,
just don't tell anyone, Chris, that you're a Leafs fan.
I don't even know what that means. I don't know sports.
No, do it then.
I feel like the best way to get through Montreal is just to pretend I'm a mute. Like, I'll just shrug all the time and not say anything to anybody. And
that would be the worst interview ever, though, right now. that was it. Yeah. Hey, Chris, thank you so much for dropping in.
Thanks for having me.
Congrats for all your success and
Thank
continued
you.
success. When you're in Toronto, come by. We'll spend some more time.
That'd be
together.
amazing. Thanks, guys.
Okay, appreciate it. Chris Hardwick.
Take
Everyone
care.
go At Midnight, and everyone knows what he's been doing. And millions of followers. That's cool. That's a lot of power. I like that. We'll be back in a moment here.
Suck it, Trump.
Yeah, exactly. Where are we? The Todd Shapiro Show.
SiriusXM.
Yeah, we'll be back in a second on Party Friday.
Hey, I'm Jake Brody. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and leave a comment. We read the best ones on the air.